First up, the Israeli ambassador to India, Naor Gilon, launched a scathing attack on his fellow countryman and filmmaker Nadav Lapid for calling the Kashmir Files propaganda and vulgar at the 53rd International Film Festival of India. In a series of tweets, the Israeli envoy said that he was extremely hurt to see the reactions in India, and they were seriously doubting whether the Schindler's List and Holocaust movies made on Holocaust, like The Pianist, would also be categorized under the same. And the Kashmir Files was screened at the film festival on November 22nd, which was part of the Indian Panorama section. And Lapid, in fact, criticized the entry of the movie Kashmir Files, saying that the jury was disturbed and shocked by the film and deemed it inappropriate for artistic competitive section of such a prestigious film festival.
It's shameful for him to make a statement like this. But from a community who have suffered Holocaust, Jews have suffered Holocaust, and he comes from that community, and for him to sort of make a statement like this, he has also pained those people who have जो इस त्रासदी के शिकार हुए आज से बहुत साल पहले.
Kashmiri Pandit activist Rakesh Handura joins us on the program. Mr. Handu, how are you looking at all these developments, especially when the film is being called propagandist and vulgar, given the fact that it brings out the plight of the Kashmiri Pandits back in the 1990s and something which is very sensitive and perhaps should have given more thought before using such words because people suffered, and how?
Madam, let me tell you frankly, people have suffered in 1990 and it continues today also. You see, from last almost 1.5 years, my people who have been working in Kashmir, as a PM package employees, they have been struggling for last more than 6 months now, but nobody is there to bother about them. I was just watching a video of Honorable Home Minister of India, Shri Amit Shah ji, when he was asked question by Namita Kumar that you promised 8 years back when you came to power, you promised that you will rehabilitate Kashmiri Pandits in Kashmir. He was literally ignorant. He started telling that earlier 400 people were dying, now only 12 people are dying. This is the seriousness of the government. Now let me come to Kashmir Files. What has changed after Kashmir Files? Almost 100 crore people in this country have seen what has happened to us in 1990. Has anybody come on roads? Has anybody protested? Has anybody raised a question to government? What are they doing? It is literally painful. Kashmiri Pandit is only for sloganeering when there is an election of assembly, when there is an election of parliament. That is what I can say.
Right, I understand your concerns there, sir, but at this point, the kind of description that has been given to a movie that describes the plight of your community in particular at an international film festival is certainly condemnable, because then it draws comparison to a country like Israel. And with Jews, we don't need a history lesson for that at all. We know what happened during the entire Holocaust. We know what happened in the Auschwitz camp. These are just very few details to point out. But to compare, would be difficult at this point. And to criticize and to overlook the fact that there has been immense suffering. Of course, at this point, it would seem a little and rather insensitive, because coming from a person who suffered similar atrocities, if not worse, this perhaps looks rather unpleasant, does it not?
Yeah, you are absolutely true, because this is the fact which Kashmir Files have shown. If you ask someone like Kashmiri Pandits or 5 like Kashmiri Pandits, everybody has a story. This story is only of Girja Tikku. This story is only of Satish Tikku. This story is only Bit Karate. This story is about Yasir Malik. This is the fact which Vivek Agnihotri ji has shown. I can say this is not a picture, this is a trailer. If you ask 5 lakh Kashmiri Pandits, they will tell you different stories, how we had to, run away, how we have to save our daughters, our mothers, and how we left.
And Mr.
Anybody talking about Kashmir files is actually trying to, hide what has happened to us. My 56, ma'am, I was just 22. When I saw, believe me, trust me, being a Kashmiri Pandit, I have not watched Kashmir files. Can you believe it? Because it is basically, I do not tolerate. I may die of heart attack. It is a revision of what I saw from my eyes. It is a revision of what exactly happened to us. Anybody is telling that this is a propaganda is living in a fool paradise.
Because that is the main contention, calling it propaganda, because there is ample proof and it should be somehow, in a sense, distasteful, and at this point to look at it in a certain way where you're hurting sentiments of so many people like yourselves who witnessed such massive atrocities that you wouldn't want to recall or what happened around that time and how your entire time there was in shambles, and what all you had to suffer all those years. And as you point out, you continue to suffer. We've seen the plight of Kashmiri Pandits in the valley, and how it's taken a toll on their families and generations to come. But at this point, if you were to reply to Mr. Lapid, who says that the film is vulgar, forget the film, sir. It's about the plight of the Kashmiri Pandits. So even in that context, if you were to, give a message to Mr. Lapid, who's gone ahead and used those many words to overlook the fact that there was suffering, etc., apart from his personal views, perhaps a little sensitivity was required in the manner in which those words were spoken. What would your message to Mr. Lapid be at this point?
I just challenge him on any platform in the world. Let me talk. Let him talk to me one-to-one. I tell you, whatever Kashmir Files has, shown, I'm again repeating, it is not even the 1% of what we have suffered. My message to him is, I challenge in any forum, any channel, any platform in the world where I can show, I have proofs also. You ask him who was Bitter Karate. You ask him who was Yasin Malik. You ask him that if you say that whatever Kashmir Files has shown is wrong, I challenge him in any platform, because I have seen all these things from my face. Let me repeat again, trust me. Being a Kashmiri Pandit who has seen everything at the age of 22, I challenge this gentleman who is talking all this bullshit to discuss with me eye to eye on any platform in the world.
Right. Understandable, your anger, Mr. Rakesh Handu, and hope Mr. Lapid gets the message, of course, faces the flack, not just from the Kashmiri Pandits, but of course from people, across India, and including the Israel envoy to India himself, who's called out and written a very detailed letter on the same and saying that these comments are really unwelcomed and insensitive. Thank you, Mr. Handu, for joining us with those perspectives, and all our sympathy.